Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just click the link in the show description to support now.
Folks, you know Duke loves Rasslin, but Duke also loves food. Shout out to our friends over at Panera Bread because they've come up with a new line of toasted baguettes, aka melts. Check out these flavors here: smoky buffalo chicken, pepperoni mozzarella, or the green goddess caprese. Okay, how about some ingredients of my favorite? I'm talking about the pepperoni mozzarella melt. That's thick sliced pepperoni, fresh mozzarella, shredded fontina and mozzarella cheese blend with tomato bell pepper sauce. And once again, that's all on a toasted French baguette. Throw in a side of chips or an apple with that. Hopefully you're part of the Unlimited Sip Club. Grab yourself a drink to wash it all down. What are you waiting for? Visit your local Panera Bread or head over to the Panera Bread app. Order yourself one of the toasted baguette melts. That's right.
Locked in.
Look at what we have here, folks.
To the only show that matters.
The cream of the crop.
Duke loves Rasslin.
And there is no one that does it better than
your host.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
The Duke.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy JBoujii, top 500 in the world, Mr. PWY, and you are listening to Duke Loves Rasslin.
I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, 2023 is a special year. We're about to celebrate our 7th anniversary of the Duke Loves Rasslin podcast, so there's a lot of reflection. But really, you know, looking back on guests who have started with the show, especially early in their careers, and then watching them blossom. That is just such a thrill. It's something that I really love, and it really makes doing this show worth it. And certainly, JBoujii is at the top of the list. I mean, a guy who legitimately started off from nothing and has built himself so much that he legitimately is one of the top 500 wrestlers in the universe, as recognized by Pro Wrestling Illustrated. And that is just such a tremendous honor. And it's an honor that this guy doesn't take lightly. And he continues to carry that banner with him everywhere and shouts it out. And it's funny because when we had a deep discussion about it on Duke Loves Rasslin with Harry Burkett, you know, senior writer for Pro Wrestling Illustrated, and I did a little clip of that portion of him talking about JBoujii and how far he's come and how he earned his way into the PWI 500. That was one of the top clips of 2022 for Duke Loves Rasslin. People from all over the world legitimately listened to that over and over again, shared it, discussion about it, and that certainly has helped the brand awareness for JBoujii. So to be in 2023 knowing that the sky is the limit for such a talented and hardworking person like this, it's cool, man. And for that reason, welcome back to Duke Loves Rasslin, my brother, JBoujii. What's up, man?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Duke. Definitely appreciate you, man. Everything good, chilling. Like you said, carrying that banner, it's at the point now where I don't even got to tell people I'm Mr. PWI. I kind of like just walk inside the building. It's like, yeah, we know, you're PWI. I'm like, yo, I ain't even saying that. I just came to say what's up. Like, it's cool. Listen, as long as you know, then we good.
Well, it was a big surprise. The fact that clip, I mean, you outdid Ron Simmons, Jerry the King Lawler, JBL. You outdid some Hall of Famers, man. You know, people were really, really interested and curious about who you are and your growth. And again, doing a show like this where we can document you pretty much from the beginning all the way up to this point. It's special, man. I mean, how do you feel? How do you feel about 2023 and your future prospects and your current prospects, so to speak?
I feel like a lot of people in a way they said last year was kind of like a breakout year for me, but I feel like this year is really that. Just because, especially with PWI, that like you said, it caught a lot of people by surprise, and I think even to what you said, where it's like that clip outperformed others because it's like, all right, well, who is this guy? And it's like I've never heard of him, but like I'm hearing so much about him now. Like his name is being attached to so many other credible things, and it's like, all right, I'm a little curious about that and how did this happen? And I feel like that's relatable even to outside of the professional wrestling. It's just relatable to like life overall because you always wondering whether it's a job or whether you're in school or whatever. It's like, well, who the hell is this guy and where did he come from and how does he get all this? How is he ahead of me? How is he doing this? Like how? So I think that's something that people are always going to gravitate towards, that big question of how, because a lot of people are trying to figure themselves out. They're trying to see what they want to do with life, where they want to go, and it's just like a common question of life, the how. But with 2023, it definitely feels like this year a lot of people are not going to be surprised by what I'm doing. It's like, all right, well, we expected this. Like if you look at his trajectory and everything that he's been doing from where he started, is like everything this young man is about to do this year or will do, whatever the case may be. It's like, yeah, I seen this coming.
One of the things that I respect about you most is the fact that you're not afraid to promote. You're somebody who is constantly finding new ways to promote every event that you're going to appear at, every wrestling match that you're going to wrestle. You're on the different podcasts. You're posting on social media every single day. You're building connections and relationships with people every single day. Like you legitimately one of the hardest working men in all of wrestling, and I could say that definitively as someone who interacts with people all the time and have been doing it for years. So I see what other folks are doing, and you're really a one man show in that regard, where you're doing it all.
Yeah,
Talk to me about
feel
that.
like, well, I feel like a reason why a lot of people don't promote is because they don't think it looks cool. People worry about how many numbers posts they have on their Instagram, or they don't want to be repetitive, or they worry about the algorithm and what's trendy, or the same thing like with Twitter. But it's like the number one way I approach this is business, and you taught me that. Like I could definitely credit a lot of it to you, like my mindset, because end of the day, like we here to make money and we here to like elevate ourselves. Like all this other stuff, it genuinely does not matter. So when it comes down to me having a show or wherever I'm gonna be at, I gotta promote it. And like there's no shame in it. Like promoting is fun. Like you might meet somebody in a comment, or you might get a DM or two and it's like, hey, like I like this, I like that, or hey, are you gonna be here? What's going on with this? Like I have people that write me like directly before they buy a ticket, like, hey, are you gonna be here for sure? Cause like I know things happen, this and that. Like I'm coming here for you. And I'm like, yeah, like I'll be there. Or if I know I might not be at an event, if something's coming up, or just anything with like scheduling wise, like I'll reach out to people personally, like, hey, listen, I'm not gonna make it at this one, but this is not gonna go on. And I think a lot of people appreciate that because I'm being personable. I'm not being a superstar or ego or anything like that. Because end of the day, the people who come out there, they're part of my brand. They help get my brand out there. Whether it's a T-shirt, it's a like, it's a share, it's a retweet, whatever it is. So, and you never know what one share is going to do for you. Like you genuinely never know. The perfect example is what I had did last year with STP whenever Reverend Hunt called me out, and it just took like one retweet and like my mentions were going crazy when it was like, oh, whoa, Takeover versus STP. Like, is this going to happen? Is it going to happen? And honestly, once I seen like that little bit of fire, that little ember that had sparked from there, I'm like, I got to run with this. And now I made it into an entire show. It's one of the biggest shows that Invictus has ever had. It got me on the map. It got a lot of people to know who I am. It got me in PWI because that was the match that was actually in my the little article, the little paragraph about me. So promoting is everything. It's not the wrestling aspect. It's all the business.
You brought it up. You've been in a feud with Shane Taylor Promotions for over a year now. and you've broken off a piece of each member, at least the original members there, with one exception, and that's this man known as Kaun. But you have something scheduled, right? Where you and Kaun are finally going to stand toe to toe and find out what this is really about. I mean, who the better man is, right?
Yeah, 100%. And to be frank, or to just be straight up, I like, Khan bothers me in a way that I've probably never been bothered before. Because, listen, Duke, I've been disrespected numerous times throughout this journey. People always want to try and play disrespect, but never have I been treated as if like I don't exist, or like if I'm invisible, or just like like I'm a nobody. And Khan, ever since last year, things were almost up in the air because of this guy, because he likes to play these games where, oh well, I'm not going to interact with you, I'm going to interact with everyone around you. And it's like I said the other day, no matter if you acknowledge me publicly or privately, like there's no denying who I am. And his silence is a complete display of disrespect, and I don't like that. And then he even tried to be funny with you, like, oh well, why is he obsessed with me? And it's like, well, why are you afraid of me? You try to act like I'm not there. March 18th is coming up at BCW at Ridgefield Park. You know what's going on. You gotta step in the ring with me. And to be honest, I think I figured it out, because it's like he thinks if he just be quiet, he's not gonna catch the smoke. He probably seen everything that happened with Rev Ron Hunt. He's seen how I was going at Shane Taylor. He's seen how I was going at O'Shea. It's like this guy is not backing down, and he know he can't play the Twitter game like me. He can't play the social media game like me. He can't promote like me. He can't do none of that. The other day he was just complaining about, oh, he has 9 shows this month with no press. Well, maybe if you actually got up off your ass and said something and went out there and did some work instead of being an envelope wrestler, you would get some press. You got to work for this. You got to go out there and earn this stuff. But, a lot of guys, when they got abs now, and they have a royal heritage like him, they think things got to just be handed to him. And I don't appreciate that at all.
There's a lot of talk of cosmetics, especially in different areas of entertainment, including pro wrestling. Mm-hmm. Do you believe that his abs are legitimate, like earned in the gym, or do you think there might be some kind of special surgery or something, like maybe some flat tummy tea or something like that going on with Kaun?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of flat tummy tea in there, 100%. 100%. I watched this little documentary he did on YouTube, like, oh, this is who I am, blah, blah, blah. Like, there was always clips in between with him walking in the gym and then walking out. I ain't see no sweat on that man. I ain't see a change of clothes. There was no fatigue in the way he carried his duffel bag. There was none of that. So it kind of makes me question, are you really, working for that? I feel like he's taking a shortcut on it, That's me personally, but I'll get to see it definitely in person whenever, if he shows up, because apparently he can't make a tweet, he can't do nothing. He always wants to put out some weird emojis. Like, the guy's a real weirdo, and I'm starting to come to terms with that maybe he just doesn't know how to deal with a superstar like myself.
Well, it's interesting because Kaun was the first member of STP to get signed by Tony Khan. Mm-hmm. Through the Ring of Honor banner, but he has appeared in AEW as well, because the two companies are related to each other. I wonder, do you think, for a guy like yourself who's working so hard and who's building, and nothing has been given to you, you've had to create it all on your own, all the way up to that show that you did with Invictus, where you promoted the hell out of that show. Mm-hmm. Every single day, no days off. When you look at a guy like Kaun, who, he has the fancy abs, and he was able to get the deal, and like you said, he's not doing too many interviews. He's not talking much. He's not even acknowledging his opponents. Does this guy owe gratitude to somebody like a Tony Khan, who has basically put some money in Khan's pocket to a point where maybe Khan doesn't even have to work as hard anymore?
Oh, 100%, 100%. Because them same dollars that's going in his bank account is helping for those cheat code abs that he got. It's helping for that flat tummy tea. So when people get money, they start to feel entitled in a way. They start to think, okay, I'm bigger, I'm better, I'm this, I'm that, and I don't think I've ever seen any type of gratitude being shown towards Tony Khan. I don't know, the other day, as a matter of fact, it was just yesterday, it was his birthday, all he did was post a picture of himself and just say 33, not, hey, I didn't even see a, hey, thank you for all the birthday wishes, guys. Thank you for all the support, guys. I seen a couple people commenting happy birthday. Some he liked, others he didn't like, being very picky and choosy. I think there's a lot of tribalism with that guy. It's like real clicky, real clicky.
Real clicky. Hashtag that, folks. Real clicky. The description of the man known as Kaun, who accuses JBoujii of being obsessed with him.
No. Far from obsessed. It's just I feel disrespected, and I think that he knows that. I don't think he wants me to make my name at the expense of him, but there's nothing that's going to change that. And I said the other day, like, I have nothing to lose in this, Duke. I have everything to gain. I'm in that same position I was almost a year ago with his former partner. Like, he's the one that's on TV. He's the one that's signed. He's the one that checks in with Tony Khan all the time. He's the one that does all this type of stuff. Me, I'm independent, baby. You know what I mean? I can do whatever I want, when I want, and I'm just going to keep growing and building from this. Because he has to wrestle a perfect match. Those abs aren't going to save him. His heritage isn't going to save him. I seen something yesterday that he said he's trying to become the elephant. He's putting on a mask. He wears that mask. I might slap him with the mask at the show. So he has to be completely perfect. Now, me personally, if he has any chance, like, I think he needs to be SOS Khan, quite honestly. I think he needs to pick up that vest that he used to wear. I think he needs to back out the cargo pants. I know he still got those white boots, shine them up real nice. And then you bring that side out here. But this prince, this tapping into this family heritage, and all respect to family and his heritage. There's no disrespect there. Like, I 100% get that. But we in the business of combat in a way. We out here fighting. We out here throwing hands. And if you're not coming in here on your A game and being completely focused on what's about to happen, it's over. You lost already. You already lost. All I gotta do is just show up and do what I do. Because it's the same thing I was telling somebody else where, like, I have the advantage here where I could type in Kaun and probably 80 to 90% of all his matches are going to come up on YouTube. I could find it real easily. Me, the only type of stuff you see from me is either if it's on my YouTube or you're going to have to pay them dollars to see it. So you're going to have to subscribe to IWTV, title match, fight, all these other places where, okay, you want to see what's going on with Boujii, well, you got to pay to see Boujii. Kaun, I just type your name in, and now I'm looking at what you do, what you don't do, what's your favorite things, what's your tendencies, what everything that's going on. That's the type of stuff that I'm doing, So while he's on the other side with the flat tummy tea and being real clicky, I'm over here studying and making sure, like, okay, I see the difference between this man and what he used to be and where he is now. And I can't wait for Caprice Coleman to be there because, Coleman's going to be there. He's going to be on commentary. And, I'm going to make sure I get Coleman the proper notes, and like, hey, listen, this is that is this. And I want to just feel comfortable out there, calling my stuff. That's really what I want. Because with Caprice being on there, like, he's a legend in the game. He's one of the pioneers for Ring of Honor. He's one of the voices that is so recognizable around the world. So when he says the name JBoujii, it's going to ring different. When he says JBoujii has done it, it's going to ring different. You understand what I'm saying, Duke?
Indeed, I do. And I'm looking forward to it. I think this has the potential of being a match of the year candidate because there's real animosity here. Kaun is trying to play it off, but I think he's a little annoyed with you. So,
listen, if he's annoyed now, then he already lost. It's like, and for what it's worth, listen, man, shout out to Reverend Hunt. We went through hell and back. He literally was on fire for a brief moment. But what I've been doing with him, with Kaun, has been nothing compared to what it was a year ago. Nothing. If you want to talk about annoying, that was annoying last year. Now I'm a bit polished. I done went through the ringer. I done stepped in the ring with veterans, with world champions. Like, It's like, okay, like I'm being a bit more strategic about this. If he wants to see annoying, I could definitely tap into that because I love it. See, that's the thing. And I've been noticing that too. The moment you show me any type of reaction, any type of annoyance, then I'm going to keep running with it because now I know I got you. Now I know I'm hitting that nerve, and I feel like I'm hitting a nerve too. So I think I might tap into that a little bit more. But I'm trying to give him the opportunity to express himself and use words instead of being a mute. You look at all his stuff. All he does is flex a strong pose, have a couple veins out his neck pop out. But I don't think I've ever heard this man say 10 words, man, ever. So I'm trying to give him the opportunity. But hey, if you don't want to take it, I'm just gonna keep on running. Because at the end of the day, I don't need him to promote this. I can do this all on my own. I'll give him some exposure, help him out a bit because he said he ain't getting no press. So let me show you how to get it.
Woo. JBoujii coming in hot on this one. Kaun, you're always welcome on the Duke Loves Rasslin podcast, especially if you want to respond to what's been said. And before we wrap up the Kaun discussion, you're a New York guy, JBoujii.
Yes, sir.
New York to the core. Everyone can hear it in your voice, see it when they watch you out there. You carry New York on your back. I want to ask you an interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to describe Kaun as a food in New York, what food would Kaun be, and what food would JBoujii be? So start with him, and then tell us what you would be in comparison.
There's a lot of great food in New York, and it's hard to be a bad food when there's just everything's good for the most part out here, but there's lower tiered food. So whenever I look at Kaun, right, and I look at him as just like a butter bagel. That's it. A butter bagel that anyone on the block could just get real quick. When you down, just want to get a butter bagel and you just want to just take one of those. Now, JBoujii, on the other hand, JBoujii is a delicacy. JBoujii is a chopped cheese. People love the chopped cheese out here. You go everywhere, it's imitated. JBoujii's imitated. Chopped cheese is influential. JBoujii's influential. There's no simplicity when it comes to JBoujii, nor is it to chopped cheese. You could spice up however you want. Hell, dude, even you made one yourself. You posted up something not too long ago about your chopped cheese and how you made it. But Kaun, he just a bagel. He plain. Not even an everything bagel, just a bagel. Bagel, you might get some butter on there, or you might get some whipped cream. You don't know. You might get some sour cream, whatever the case may be. He just a bagel.
Damn. We might break the internet with that one there. Kaun is a buttered bagel, while JBoujii is a chopped cheese.
Yep, delicacy, imitated, influential, and everywhere, all over the place.
Woo! We are talking to Mr. PWI 500 himself, JBoujii, here on the Duke Loves Rasslin podcast. I want to switch speeds for a moment here, Boujii, and pull back the curtain on something because you live a very interesting life.
Mm-hmm.
And because of who you are and how you are, because you're a man that, demands the finer things in life, you certainly have achieved that with your lovely lady there, Shayla.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And she's pretty popular.
Yeah, dude, we was talking about that too, where it's like, I'm like, yo, you're a personality now, bro. Like, 100%, because like her name is Shayla, but her handle, she spells her name with 2 A's at the end, and everyone refers to her as Shayla with 2 A's now. Like, she's growing her own brand, and it's such a beautiful thing to see, because the first time that we ever did anything together, it's kind of like, all right, we're going. It was like a one-off, like, okay, hey, we're going to do something cool, and I enjoyed it, and a lot of people enjoyed it. And I was like, hey, like, do you want to keep doing this? She's like, okay. But she was so nervous. Like, if you look at her stuff from a year ago, honestly, if you look at her stuff from the STP show that we did to now, it's night and day. She's so different. Like, she walks up there with confidence. You can see that she's not afraid to interact now. She looks forward to it. Like, she owns the room in a way with the way that she walks. It's like she knows that no one's touching her. She knows that if she decided to actually step in the ring one day, all these girls would be out of business. Every single one of these young ladies, she would be taking all their money. So it's definitely a beautiful thing to see. And then to even go further back, I remember when I was younger, I used to watch Undertaker and his then wife at the time, Sarah, and then even to an extent with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. I'm like, yo, this would be so cool if I was able to do something on screen with whoever my girlfriend be at the time. And I never thought it would be possible. And the fact that's happened here on the indies, it's made my career be so much fun. Like, I just have a great time with her out there. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. But yeah, she's definitely growing, and it's a beautiful thing to see.
I wonder about something because she's so popular. She attracts so much attention that, you know, you have other wrestlers from every known company, what have you,
Yes.
you know, trying to slide in the DMs, trying to holler and all that other good stuff.
Mhm.
How does that feel for you? And what's your impression of that? Because it's not like it's a secret that that's your lady there.
Mhm. I think it's just, when you're with a 10, you gotta deal with 10 problems, So of course she's a beautiful young lady. She's a model. She's artistic. She's creative in so many different ways, and you don't see that in professional wrestling, let alone in just life itself. So a lot of people are looking for that, and of course everyone's gonna try. I get it. They're like, oh, you miss every shot that you don't take, but you're going damn sure miss every shot you take at Shayla. And I know about everything. I've know every single person that's ever tried or anything like that. Some folks are really just thinking it's a gimmick, and I understand that at times. And they're like, yo, I'm so sorry, blah blah blah. But none of that stuff bother me. Like, it don't bother me because it just shows that you damn well know who I am. Like you know exactly who I am. Like, you showing your card trying to holler at her, but you afraid. That's how I take it. So we just laugh at it. We look at it and like, okay, cool. Then it'd be funny because some of them do that. It's like, all right, I wonder how you're gonna be when we walk in the locker room. So, and we're mad cool about things. Like, that's one thing about us where it's like we're so solid and firm in our relationship and what we do that we don't let little things like that bother us, because we know what it is when you're a rising star, when you're a superstar in your own right. This is what happens. Like, these are all things that go on, but we make sure that we side with each other and we just laugh at it. So it was one time we was like, all right, we gonna walk in the locker room. We might try and rib somebody, just go up to him, shake his hand a little firm, and look him in the eyes, and just do something. But it'll be fun on our end. But there are some folks who are if they put the time that they put in, trying to ask her, oh, when are you gonna wrestle? They would be a lot further in their careers. I can say that.
Again, coming in hot.
Listen, man, shit is crazy. I just be like, man, if you just applied what you doing right here, I promise you, it would just correlate so much better. And this is the thing too, and this is not even like being like funny thing, but she don't be knowing who some of these people are. Like, Shayla is so like JBoujii, so John, like so us, and again, and it's not even like being like cocky nothing like that, but it's like she got into this, out of love and happiness and respect for me. So it's like she's not the traditional hardcore wrestling fan and everything. Like, she's like, oh, okay. Like, she looks at everybody like, well, she looks at everybody that's like same level, or she looks at me on the same level as them. She's like, there's no difference between you and them. They're just somewhere you haven't been yet. So it's like, whether you're a contracted based talent, whether you're in any part of Florida or you're in the South, wherever it may be, it legit doesn't phase her. It's like, okay, like, who are you? I'm with JBoujii. Like, I'm Shayla. Like, I'm this and that. All right, whatever. Keep it pushing. But she's always respectful though. She's not ever gonna be on some like Hollywood stuff. Like, if someone has a legitimate question, she'll answer as long as you're being respectful the same way. But other than that, like I said, man, if people put the time that they put in trying to figure out what's going on in her life and all them damn emojis, I promise you would be a lot further than what you are.
I wonder about something, Boujii, because there's a lot of folks out there who have not cracked the code.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't figured out how to obtain a 10 like you have.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any advice, especially for these folks who are in her DMs here? Do you have any advice on how they can go find a Shayla of their own?
Well, definitely stop doing what you're doing right now, because that sure as hell ain't working. But I think what stood out to her, and just overall when it comes to getting a 10, you gotta just be yourself. Don't be a cornball. Like, there's people that sliding in women that are 10s DMs like almost every second of the day, and it's like, just be you. Like, everyone tries to play the same old game. Nobody got game out here no more. And people think game is being a smooth talker, doing this, doing that. It's like, nah, just be you. It was meant for you, going to be for you. And maybe this 10 ain't for you. Maybe you don't need a 10. Maybe you're a guy that does well with a 7 or an 8. Maybe you just not a caliber of a 10. It's okay. Not everyone could be the star player. It's perfectly fine, But everyone want to try and box with God out here, and it just doesn't work out for him.
Well, that concludes the self-improvement portion of the episode there. Hey, you wild, man. You wild. Listen, Boujii, tell everybody what's the best way that they can keep up with you, especially as you continue your journey. I know that you're looking to add some gold to your collection.
Mm-hmm.
Some championships to your collection. So I know folks that definitely need to stay tuned and witness that. So what's the best way they can keep up with you?
Man, hey, all over social media. I would say primarily Twitter. I'm often on Twitter a lot more. Although Instagram does pay me. But yeah, JBoujii everywhere. JBoujii. You could type that in literally everywhere. It's gonna pop up. You could throw it in on Google. I think that might be the best way, for you guys to just get everything at one spot. But yeah, I'm everywhere, man. Like you just said, Duke. This is a year that I'm actually going. Like, I want some championships now. Like, I've won a couple. Just on like, okay, cool. Hey. But now I'm definitely about to apply myself a little bit more, because I kind of want the bag to be a little heavy for a little bit until I don't feel like carrying it no more. But yeah, JBoujii everywhere, man. Definitely appreciate you too, Duke. Just for everything. I remember the first time that we had chopped it up. It went from being a walking world star video to being Mr. PWI. So I definitely thank you for all the help and support, and just the knowledge that you give me on and off camera or voice chat in this scenario here. But yeah, just definitely thank you.
Well, listen, man, the feeling is mutual, brother. It's exciting to see your growth. The fact that you have taken this seriously and you continue to apply things that you learn along the way, and you're willing to help others too. I mean, there have been numerous times when I've reached out to you to help another wrestler, and you've always been there to do it. And those are the things that, people don't hear about, because that's behind the scenes stuff. And certainly we're not going to name names or anything like that. I want to keep people's business private. But all around, though, man, you're a compliment to the industry.
Thank you.
You've put money in other people's pockets. You've helped other people grow as you continue to do it yourself. And I think that's, if people want to think anything of you, whether they love you, hate you, somewhere in between, just remember that this is a guy who has legitimately gone out of his way to help others, including other wrestlers of color, and especially female wrestlers of color, people who are normally marginalized the most in the industry. So I want to go on record and just point that out. JBoujii is always willing to help others, which is very, very important to me. And it's how I judge people. And certainly, man, I have the utmost respect for you because of that. And it doesn't surprise me that you continue to grow the way that you do, because all you do is put out positivity, even when you're calling out your opponents.
Hell yeah.
Oh, listen, man, we got to plug. Shayla is part of a contest right now, right? Ink Magazine.
Yeah, yes, definitely. Please go vote for her daily. And listen, do it at a time, because it's like strict 24 hours. So if you vote at, let's say, what is it? It's 11:08 right now. You got to vote at 11:08 again tomorrow. So please vote at a time where you know you're going to be consistent about it. We're constantly going to be sharing it. I think right now she's either in third or fourth. It's going to be like the top 10 move on to the next round. Then it's like whoever the top five, it's like in increments of 5. But definitely go vote for her. You could find it either on my Instagram or my Twitter. Follow her on Instagram at Shayla's Gallery. Also on Twitter, her Twitter actually got locked because, you know, someone's always player hating out here. So her backup is Shayla's Archive _ at the end. But, you know, we ain't going to stop. We going to get this money. We going to get this money.
Well, and it's interesting because Ink magazine, everybody knows about that magazine there. And Shayla is not, you know, one of the suicide girls or one of these other type of folks who are super duper famous. She has her own level of fame in her own right, but she has made it through either 3 or 4 rounds so far, and she's in the top 10. She's number 4 in the top 10 right now.
Mm-hmm.
So certainly, folks, for the next 6 days, let's do what we can to get her in the top, to, you know, keep her in the top 5.
Right.
Because Thursday, March 9th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when that round ends. Let's keep her in the top 5 at least so she can move on to the next round and hopefully win this thing. Be fantastic. So, but again, you know, Boujii, appreciate you, bro. I'm, you know, the door is open for Kaun if he wants to come on the show, especially to address the fact that you called him a buttered bagel.
I hope so, man. Listen, you know, and you know it's crazy. Maybe he likes butter bagels. Maybe that's his cheat day. I don't know. You know, I would love to hear from him, dude. Like just like everyone else. Like I've probably done been on probably like 10 different podcasts, and people's like, Kaun, you can respond if you want. Kaun, we're here. Kaun, and it's like the people want you, man. There's a demand, brother. You talk about that press. Let's make that press. Get it out there. These are the people that's going to get you out there, especially when you're not showing no gratitude to my boy TK. So, you know, if you want to try and hop and skip around him, come on out here. Come on to these podcasts. Come on to these people that got an amazing and beautiful platform that want to hear from you. They want to know what's up. They want to know what you think. They want to know, why are you scared of JBoujii? Why have you not responded to JBoujii? So, you know, open invitation, as they say.
I want to remind you to check out Zencastr. Zencastr. That is my favorite program to use for all my recording needs. And the great part is, not only do they have audio, but they also have video options as well. So whether you're video conferencing, podcasting, just catching up with friends and loved ones, you definitely want to check out Zencastr. They have paid subscriptions. They also have a free version, which I'm actually using right now. Transcripts, the whole 9 yards, and even, get this, Zencastr has started to do hosting. So for all you podcasters out there, if you're looking for a host for your show, please consider Zencastr. You will not regret it. I'm telling you right now. Once again, Zencastr. Made on Zencastr. That's right.
Hi, this is Lindsay. This is Lori, and we're Miami Sweet Heat, and you're listening to Duke Loves Rasslin.
Shout out to JBoujii there. You know, always a pleasure to have him on the show. And it's interesting. I mean, this whole thing with Kaun has me wondering. There's only one of 2 reasons why Kaun has been silent and really not responding much to Boujii, other than asking, why is he obsessed with me? As JBoujii speculated, it could be as simple as Kaun is just intimidated by Boujii. Certainly, you know, you have a brash, loud person calling you out and out there and has the type of support and garners the type of attention where people are legitimately, you know, there with him. Could be as simple as that. It's overwhelming. Or maybe Kaun is playing mind games with JBoujii. You know, maybe he feels he doesn't have to respond to him. And maybe he feels that he's getting under the skin of Boujii, and that's why he's not responding to him. It's interesting. It's interesting. But I think that there's some legitimate beef there, and I think that match is going to be more of a fight than a match. I think these guys are really going to lock horns and get it on in that one. So it'll be interesting to see how that shapes up, but certainly it's going to be entertaining. And once again, BCW. Now that's in 15 days on the 18th. So BCW Wrestling there. Stay tuned for that. You definitely can check out briicw.tv. More information. BCW is on Twitter at BCW_wrestling_. So stay tuned. More information about that one there. Folks, it's been an interesting week in wrestling. We saw Eddie Kingston of AEW, quote unquote, quit AEW, whatever that means. And then he shows up on the relaunch of Ring of Honor and challenges Claudio for the Ring of Honor championship. So he quit AEW to go to Ring of Honor, basically. Two companies that are related to each other. Tony Khan owns Ring of Honor officially. Shad Khan, Tony's father, technically owns AEW, although Tony runs it. So, storyline quitting and what have you. But it's interesting. The relaunch of Ring of Honor, I did peek in on a little bit of it, and I don't know. I was at the first Ring of Honor show, and one of the people, which has been well documented on this show, but one of the people that helped from a fan standpoint, that helped launch Ring of Honor, providing the data as a fan on who we wanted to see on that original card, which ultimately went from a super show into turning into a full-fledged promotion. And every iteration of Ring of Honor since then has steadily gotten away from what it originally was. And at times they've had some highs, and at times they've had some major lows. So I hope this new iteration of Ring of Honor with Tony Khan owning it, I hope it turns into something successful. Because certainly that means that that's another place that the wrestlers can work and be seen, grow their brands, feed their family. But we'll have to wait and see. I don't know. As we know, the road to WrestleMania continues to chug along. And one match that has been finalized is Brock Lesnar versus Omos. And a lot of folks have been talking about that. I want to end on this note. A lot of folks have been taking issue with the fact that Omos is getting Lesnar at Mania. They don't like it. How dare you, right? It's as if we have memory issues here. Because Omos was the guy that took on Braun Strowman out there in Saudi Arabia, and they had a fantastic big man match. I mean, just fantastic. It was awesome. It was what pro wrestling is about. So to think that Omos and Lesnar are not going to do something similar is just crazy. I think that match is going to be one of the more memorable matches on the entire card. Omos and Lesnar. I can't wait to see it. Omos is significantly bigger than Lesnar. But Lesnar is significantly thicker and possibly stronger. So what's going to happen there? No one believes that Omos is going to beat Lesnar, which no one believed that Lesnar was going to beat The Undertaker. Well, we saw what happened there. So this is an interesting thing going on here. And with MVP managing Omos, I mean, who knows? Omos could walk out with the victor. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm excited about it. I think this is a perfect pairing. Two guys who complement each other in the ring, and I think that only good things can happen. It'll be weird to see Omos getting tossed around and getting suplexed. We've never seen that before. But anything is possible, right? So stay tuned for that. On the other side, we have Lashley and Bray Wyatt. It looks like they're going to be tangling with each other at Mania. And I don't know. Still not sold on Wyatt, as I continue to say. Still think that character is a dead end in a traditional wrestling match. But if you make it a cinematic match, well, that might be very interesting. And maybe that's what you do with Lashley in this situation. A match like that could steal the show if produced properly. So we'll see. But I think that the doom and gloom and, a lot of people, well, the build up to Mania is not that exciting. I don't know. What do you want? I mean, you already have Roman and Cody. Like, what do you want? You already have Ripley and Charlotte. What do you want? Looks like Jake Paul and Seth Rollins. Like, I mean, how big do you need it to be? It's already WrestleMania. You're gonna watch. People are gonna show up. It's gonna be a spectacle. Like, what do you want? Lita and Becky Lynch are the World Tag Team Champions on the women's side. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with them. I would love to see them face Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. That would be interesting. That's a star power match. But what do you want? Some people live to complain. Look, the card is going to be the card. It's going to be an exciting card. It's going to be worth watching. Just leave it at that. Let the rest take care of itself. But it's WrestleMania, man. Like, come on. They're going to deliver. You're going to have at least one match that was worth watching. And, for the price, $10, $5. If you already get Peacock because you already have Comcast, nothing. Like, what do you want? I don't know. I can't wait, though. I'm very excited to see what happens there. I hope somehow, some way, especially the day after Mania, I hope that we get Naomi back. I don't know what she's doing in wrestling, but, it would be nice if she returned to WWE. Because she's still part of the company, still under contract technically. So that would be nice. Nice little surprise and a step in the right direction here. But the wonder of it all is exciting. You don't need The Rock or whomever else. I think John Cena is going to be at Mania. And I've known this for almost a year now that was a plan. I'm pretty sure he's going to have a match, probably against Austin Theory. You don't need more than that, folks. Come on. It's okay to just get wrapped up in the nostalgia of things. Just remember that. It's okay. This is the Super Bowl, man. Of wrestling. No matter how you slice it. The event itself is the draw. Everything else in there is just in addition to. But the event itself is the draw. So I'll leave you at that. Once again, thank you to the man, JBoujii. As always, folks, be kind to yourselves. Be kind to others. Take it away, Tony Schiavone.
This is Tony Schiavone, and we're desperately out of time on Duke Loves Wrestling.